AFib.
Yeah, AFib, yeah. So he's high risk. But it is what it is.
Hi, and welcome to Toni Time. Well, you see my outfit? See this collar? I love it. We have from Castaway Costumes a family member who's been on our show many times. Linda is here to show off some costumes for you to see and to come down to the shop. And I'm going to turn it over to Linda now. Linda, welcome to the show.
Hi, Toni. It's good to be back again.
Great to have you back. So your dress is a vintage dress.
Yes, it is. It's out of the 50s. It's a nice, beautiful gabardine dress.
Wow.
Show it off a little bit.
Oh, that's great.
Come to the shop. I have a lot of vintage clothing as well as Halloween stuff. I
Yeah.
probably have about 2,000 Halloween costumes. And I have about 3,000 pieces of vintage wear, over 900 vintage hats. I got footwear, weapons, lots of scarves and accessories and things. And unfortunately, after 36 years of being in business, I have to go out of business because of my declining health. So everything in the shop now is for sale.
Oh, boy.
Right down to the mannequins, the clothes racks. The clothes racks will be the last things to go because I still need them to have things hanging. But it's bittersweet.
Oh, I know.
It's been a real passion for me over the years. It started as a collection, collecting hats, and then from hats I went into vintage wear, and pretty soon I had amassed too much and had to account for the space it was taking up. So a friend of mine says, rent it. And I was very reluctant because some of it's pretty fragile, but I tried.
Yeah.
Started out in a closet in the house, and it went over well. So I started buying and making things to add to the collection that was more Halloween-y like. And then eventually my husband built a barn, and I let me have a small space upstairs. Right. And eventually I got the whole upstairs. So it's 24 by 42 that's floor to ceiling full.
I know it is.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was up there a couple weeks ago, because I heard through the grapevine you were going to retire, and I thought I have to get up there.
Yep.
So I purchased this outfit with the cape.
It looks great on you.
Oh, it's so me.
Yeah.
If I could only wear this every day.
I know. I love that material, don't you?
Oh, it feels so good
You
on.
don't have to worry about ironing and nothing, you know.
It's
just
very Morticia with the sleeves.
Yeah, yeah. And then you got the cape on?
I've got the cape on, yeah.
Too. Yeah,
I have the
separate
cape
that you bought.
and all of that. So I'm coming back up.
Yep, good.
You
Good.
know,
And you've sent a lot of people over to me, and I appreciate that.
Oh, of course. I've been putting the word out everywhere.
Great. That's
You
what
know,
I
so
need.
that's why
There's a lot of stuff up there, and my children have told me that if anything happens to me, it's all going to Goodwill. So I desperately need to get rid of things.
Oh, I know. I mean,
But every time something sells, a little piece of me goes right out the door with it, you know, especially if it's something that I've handmade and put a lot of time into. So I did bring a couple of things to. I decided to showcase some of the vintage stuff.
Good.
You're representing the Halloween
the
costume
Halloween
aspect
costume
of it,
stuff, right?
and people don't realize what I have up there for vintage wear.
I know.
I've sold a lot of it, but I have the dress that I have on. There's many more dresses like this up there. There's cocktail gowns and from the 50s and the 40s. I have some Victorian stuff. I have this beautiful Victorian wedding coat that was actually worn by my husband's great aunt. It's all hand done. If I may stand up, I can turn it around so you can see the beautiful detailing in it.
Hold it there for a minute so Steve can.
Yeah.
That is so gorgeous.
This is all hand beaded and hand embroidered. Even the buttons are hand applique.
Oh, they're beautiful.
And you see the lining. I mean, this should really be in a museum.
Yeah.
And this is one of the vintage Roaring 20 outfits that I have.
Wow.
It's a beautiful Art Deco. And it's got a little picture on the glass there of something. I can't make it out without my glasses, but I have a lot of stuff, like a lot of the Victorian stuff.
Yeah.
Which I can't really hang up because it's not good for the fabric.
Right.
It's so old and whatnot. So a lot of it's just kind of bagged up. Most of it's in mint condition. There are some that needs a little work, but I would think a theater group or a museum might be very interested in some of those pieces, you know. So that's my hope. I'd like to see those go to a good home.
Yeah.
Especially this one.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. This
I
one,
mean,
you
that
know, I'd like
is-
to keep it, but what's the sense, you know, at this point in the time?
Yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely the
I even-
detail in
yeah,
that.
I have the shoes that match that too.
What size are the shoes?
Oh, I think they're like a 6.5.
Of
They're
course
tiny.
they are.
They're tiny.
Of course, I
but
wear
they're-
9.
They're very pretty in
Oh, I
their own
bet.
right. You know, they're all puckered and fluted and just very nice. Yeah.
You put a lot of love into this shop and a lot of work.
I do, but I enjoy it.
You did.
And everybody who walks through the doors in a good mood because they're going to get dressed up and go to a party. And to me, it's like playing dress up with my dolls still. You know, they come out with something on, I immediately start throwing accessories
I
with
know
it.
you do.
And it's just fun for me.
Well, I've come up there during different times over the years where I was going to a ball, and I
Yeah.
didn't want to buy a ball gown or dress. I came to you,
Yeah,
and we got the most amazing dress. I rented it.
yeah.
And then I was going to another ball, Sugar, the shop here in Biddeford. Roxy was throwing a ball, and she was doing, well, all I know is I rented that costume that was black and white skirt with a
Yeah,
hoop.
the faux, it's like a Southern Belle, fluted.
Southern Belle.
Yeah, skirt. Then we found a beautiful black sequined top with little cap sleeves on it that went very well
Oh,
with
it went
Yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah, we had to work at it before we found something that really pulled it together right.
Oh,
But-
yeah. I mean, we put it together, and I couldn't fit in my car. Because of the hoop I was wearing.
Oh,
So I had to call one of my neighbors who was going to the ball who had a van.
yeah. Oh, gosh, that's funny.
And I said, can I go with you because I don't fit in my car? So they pushed me in the back with my big hoop.
You didn't just squish it in?
I squished, but
Yeah.
it was still big.
Usually you pull it up in the back.
Well, I was going to, so I
yeah.
could go over my head or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah, no, just pull it up so it's up behind you when you sit down, and that way it doesn't poof all out in the front when you sit.
I had
It's been
more-
fun to watch it, trying to
Oh,
do
it
that.
was fun. It
Wish I'd been there.
Oh, I wish you would have been too, because you would have came up with that idea. But, you know, not only for costume rental, evening gowns to go to holiday parties and
Prom, there's a lot of nice prom dresses up there for young girls that are appropriate for
Right.
today.
right.
So, yeah.
And things for kids. You've got a few things for
I have a few things
Yeah.
for children. I don't do too much because children come in with preconceived ideas of colors and styles, and
Yeah.
if you don't have it, then they cry. And I love children, but I don't have that much patience. Too busy up there to,
Oh,
to
you
fool
are.
around with that. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
cater more to the adults.
Well, you've got one headpiece up there that I really want to come back and get. It's a very Cleopatra. It's on a head.
Oh, the beaded one?
Is it beaded? Yeah, or chained.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's very, very nice. It needs a little tuck up here with a piece of thread, just because one piece is kind of,
Yeah.
elastic's worn out a little bit, so you pull that up, it'd be fine.
Well-
yeah, it's fun. The Cleopatra stuff is nice. Everybody likes the Cleopatra stuff.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I have a lot up there for women, especially smaller sizes. I
Mm-hmm.
do have some plus sizes left. Men's things are getting pretty depleted. If you're an extra large or a plus, there's not going to be much left up there for you. A lot of small, medium, and large still.
Yeah.
So,
But also they can come up for accessories.
right. Yeah, they
You
got
know-
a hippie outfit that they're wearing, and they need a vest to go with it.
Yeah.
Or if they need a wig to go with something, I probably have 100 wigs.
Oh, you do?
yeah.
And hats. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, over 900 hats, vintage
You
hats.
have.
That's where it all started. It's with my hats. I love my hats. I don't wear them because I don't look good in them as a rule, but there's a couple that I really liked. But
Oh, you've got some amazing ones.
Yeah, yeah. I've got some right from Victorian era right on up, a lot from the 40s and 50s.
What started you into that?
I don't know. I think I stopped at a yard sale one day and they had a whole box full of old hats. Probably from the 1900 to 1920 era.
Wow.
And they were cheap, so I bought them. And voila, that started me on my quest. I just liked them so much.
How long have you been in business?
I've been actually in business for 36. This would have made 37 years. But I started collecting probably 10 years prior to that. I had a huge button collection that I've since sold off, hats, and then the Victorian stuff, and then walking sticks, and just anything that caught my eye. I like the old stuff because of the way it's made. I appreciate the workmanship and the artisanry, whatever.
Right. I mean,
But yeah, it's just really nice stuff, and they don't make stuff like that anymore.
no, they don't.
You know, so it's kind of nice to see. I think about the hours that went into making this particular.
And that's all handmade.
This is all handmade. I mean, look at the lining on that.
Oh, I know. It's amazing.
That had to have been weeks to make that. I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
even fathom the amount of time that went into this because this is all hand tucked and everything.
Well, I remember years ago
Amazing.
at the house where I grew up at in Indiana, I went up into the attic, and my grandmother and my mother had all their dresses.
Yeah, oh, don't I wish I was there for that.
My mother had this satin red, true red, tight pencil skirt or dress, which had layers of satin folded and coming up, tight around here, came off the shoulder.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
And
yes.
I just fit into it, so I had taken it, and I went to a cocktail party. Everybody was like raving about the dress.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, but because of all the years in the attic, the stitching just all broke.
Yeah, it dry rots.
And the dress just fell right off of me in the middle of the party. And my friend was with me took his coat off and put it over me. But it happened so quick.
Wow.
It was like everyone is complimenting this gorgeous vintage dress. And the next thing I know, it is on the floor.
Oh.
So
Embarrassing that had to have been.
It was.
That is a problem with the vintage things.
the
is
thread
stitching.
sits so long.
If you're smart, if you buy something that's vintage, your best bet's to just go over the seams with a sewing machine just to reinforce everything, especially under the arms and around the waist.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I recommend. Not everybody has that ability, but if it's something that you really like, it'd be worth taking it to a seamstress and just having a redo.
That's a good idea.
'Cause
Yeah.
That can happen.
Yeah, because I was so afraid to take it in to have it cleaned.
Yeah.
Because of that reason.
Right. Yeah. Some of it you have to be careful of.
Right.
Yep.
Oh,
So
my.
I was a little. This had been up in the shop hanging for quite a while, and it's not the type of thing that I generally hand wash.
Yeah.
So I just threw some water on it last night and threw it in the dryer, and then very carefully ironed it, which took me about an hour to do.
Really? Oh, my. But, you know.
But you have to be careful because of polka dots. It's
Yeah.
like a velveteen, so you can't put the iron directly on it. So I had to iron it inside out, and then I had to put a rag over it, and try and get everything just so. And it's like, oh, this is a good choice. But I absolutely love this dress,
Beautiful.
and I'm afraid this one is no longer going to be available in the shop because I decided to keep
Keep
it.
it. It looks fabulous on you.
So, yeah.
So, I mean, we really, during Halloween, but you're busy all year round.
Yes, yeah. And I'm by appointment mostly.
I know.
Especially off season.
Yeah.
We'll be open with some regular hours, probably starting next week. Most people wait till like the last week is when I do most of my business for Halloween.
Yeah.
But if you're smart, you'll come in a little earlier because things are going fast. I have people that will come in and buy $1,000 at one time just to add to the collection, knowing that I'm not going to be there any longer. And I am the last Halloween costume place in the area. Everybody else has already folded up.
Oh, my.
And if it wasn't for my health, I probably would have kept going another year or two. But it's getting so everybody wants to do things online today for the convenience.
I know.
But you're not getting the quality.
You're not getting the quality. You don't know how it really fits.
Right, yeah. And most of my things a lot of things have been hand done. If they've been bought from a costume shop, I've tried to buy top of the line stuff that's really good. I have some wonderful reenactment Civil War stuff there for men. Unfortunately, it's Confederate, and only because I had someone in the South that was having a 50th birthday party, and they ordered them. They asked me to order them for them so he could have a Civil War birthday party. So that's why it's all Confederate. I had some Union stuff too, but that's already sold. But there's some great stuff up there.
Now, theater houses and, where everybody has plays or whatever, I really want to reach out to them.
That would be wonderful, yeah.
Algonquin has the Playhouse,
Yep.
and Biddeford has City Theater, and, it is so great to have these costumes.
Well, I find that a lot of these big theater groups have a large costume wardrobe closet to the point where they actually sell things off every year. Mm-hmm. So I don't usually do a lot there, but the smaller groups like the schools come in and get a lot of stuff to the schools that do their plays. And I have church groups that come in. They're looking for the elaborate embroidered velvet robes and things that they use for wise men and things that have and kings that have been sold. So the smaller groups are the ones that are buying from me. But some of this stuff like this some of these things should be in a museum.
Yeah,
really.
Definitely.
But I checked with the local museum, and unless it's something that's been worn by a local person where you've got ties to the township with pictures to back it up, they're not interested in it, regardless of how nice it is. But I'm sure there's somebody out there that's going to love this stuff and appreciate it for what it is and be interested. The prices are fairly high on this. I think this one I have at $325.
Yeah.
Which is a lot, but when you look at the workmanship, I think if this was to go on eBay, I bet it would bring in well over $1,000.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm not an eBay person. So anybody out there wants to do eBay for me, I'd be willing to pay you a good commission.
That's a good idea.
So help.
Oh, my. Linda, this is just, it's, looking at what you have, and because I've been into commercial work and everything, I appreciate what you've done. I appreciate the volume you have up there.
Yeah, that's what everybody says when they come in. I have a lot of guys that come in that do photo shoots, and they're always looking for vintage things.
Oh, photographers.
And they just come in and they are overwhelmed by the massive stuff, and because they're on small budgets, so they can only usually buy one or two pieces at a time. But
exactly.
I have had a few people that have come in that were interested in buying the whole collection, but then they started looking at what it's going to cost them for rent and what the business has generated over the years. It just wasn't feasible for them, Yeah. There's a lot of stuff up there, which has actually turned out well because the price that I quoted them I have already made and what I've sold so far.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it was a good thing that didn't happen. But
now, your children growing up,
they had a ball up there.
Oh, I bet
Every last
they
one of
did.
them. The girls all went up and played dress up and brought their friends over and just hung out up there playing. The boys would come up just for the weapons and go outside and play cops and robbers out around the yard. And and I only have two little ones left. There's an 8-year-old granddaughter and a 10-year-old grandson. But the granddaughter, she's up there every opportunity she gets. And not only does she play dress up, Grandma has to play dress up with her.
Oh, of course.
So she's gotten me into some pretty bizarre things.
Oh, yeah.
But we kind of, excuse me, kind of laugh our way through it.
Oh, sure.
And it's great memories for the kids.
Great memories, to be up there with Grandma.
Right, yeah. I had one granddaughter that was interested in taking over, but as she got older, she got other interests, and now she's in her 4th year of college, and her intention is to be a pediatric doctor, and she's well on her way. The youngest one, she's only 8, and unfortunately I can't hold out long enough to hold on to her for her as much as she would like to have it. She certainly is a prime candidate for it, but oh well, she'll have the memories.
She'll have the memories,
have the
which
memories.
says a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And
It
she's
really
got a
does.
closet full of stuff that as she gets older, I replace with new ones for her. And
Oh, my.
And I've pulled out some of my favorites. I have a pirate outfit that I've kept.
Yeah.
In particular, I think I wore that here one year.
You did?
Yeah, and there was a couple others that I pulled out that I really liked, and a couple for my husband, just so we have something in case we have a party to go to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like to get dressed up.
Oh, absolutely. And this, I mean, again, just in love with this.
If you take and get a sweater guard
Yeah.
and put across here, that will keep that collar up and in place so that it won't
That's
be
what I
flopping
need.
around on you all the time. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because I love this
Yeah,
color.
yeah, the collar is great. That's what makes it. Yeah.
Oh, it does.
It's all sparkly and pretty, and it's machine washable.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what
I wouldn't throw it in the dryer because
No.
the sequins will kind of melt a little bit and
Yeah.
get kind of funky looking, but hang it on a hanger and it would be fine.
There you go.
There you have it.
I mean, I wish I
Just
could.
about everything's washable. You know,
And
you put
that's
it on a gentle
important, yeah.
cycle. I don't baby anything anymore. I used to back in the day. I'd hand wash the wigs and everything. Now I throw the wigs in a bag and throw them in the wash machine and take them out and shake them and spend an hour combing them out.
Yeah, but they're clean.
But
they're clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
Santa suit when I lived in New York, and I had my talent agency.
Yep.
During the holidays, everybody wanted Santa, so I bought a costume.
Yeah.
And I wear it here on Christmas for our Christmas shows with Awesome Ashley. And I throw that whole thing in the washing
Oh,
machine.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The beard, the wig, everything goes in the washer, and then I just let it air dry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
That's
great.
what I do too. I spent a lot of years doing hand washings. The time that I spent on some of those things, but it was a labor of love.
I'm sure. I know that.
Yeah, I took a lot of pride in keeping things clean. Now, unfortunately, because of my health, it's a struggle for me just to be up there.
Yeah.
The feather plumes, everything's got feathers on it, and it really kills me. I had stage 3 COPD, and sometimes I have to excuse myself from the shop and go down into the house and do a nebulizer treatment just to keep going.
Yeah.
And I don't just sit and watch people. They say, "Oh, do you have?" Well, I'm running all
Oh,
over
you're
the
right, I
place
know.
and climbing down under things and pulling things out of boxes, and so I'm on the go constantly. But it takes a lot out of me. I don't know how much longer I can do it. My hours this year are going to be greatly shortened for that reason because I just don't have the endurance to stay
Yeah.
up there for the 10 hours that I used to.
Right.
In fact, I'm thinking about doing split hours this year, maybe like 10 to 2, and again from like 5 to 7 or something, just so I get the 2 groups, working
Yeah,
groups.
so
and the
people
early
after
moms,
work
yeah.
coming over, yeah.
And I will do appointments for any time,
Well, I-
evenings, weekends, whatever's convenient. If those hours don't work into somebody. So
Well, I've told people to call you for an appointment.
good.
Told them to use my name so
Yep.
you know.
Yes. I had someone in the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're just going to keep pushing on this. This
I
is,
appreciate it very much.
You
As
know,
much
you're
as I
an-
hate to see it go, it has to go.
I know.
And right now I have a 20% off sale. Everything's 20% off, so that's quite a savings.
It is.
Something that you're going to pay $40 for, you can get it for $20, $25 at my place.
yeah.
So.
You're an amazing woman, Linda.
Well, thank you. I'm not sure about that, but
You are.
I have fun. If you love what you're doing,
You have fun.
I have fun.
I know. And,
I don't know what I'm going to do with this gone. It's like,
I think you're going to fill that time very.
Yeah, it could be. I kind of do flea markets in between and anything to supplement an income. As you know, when you're retired,
You're on a fixed
your
income.
fixed incomes and taxes and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Big old house, it's hard to keep things going. So do what I can, but I'm 70. I'm slowing down fast. So
Yeah, but just keep moving, Linda.
that's the secret. You get up in the morning, put one foot in front of the other, and just keep on going.
Exactly. I mean, you cannot stop.
No, you can't. The minute
know,
you
you-
stop, you're done. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you might not feel great or wonderful, but you power through it somehow.
I don't have much choice. My husband is blind, so 95% of the work all falls on me. Any
Yeah.
errands that have got to be done or whatnot. We're lucky we have kids that do the yard work for us, and they're there if we need us for other things. And my husband is very healthy and independent, and he does what he can. He does the small things, get the mail, and take care of the trash, and, he does little things. He used to play with his tools, so I took him away last year. Took a saw away finally when he cut into his thumb trying to cut something. That's it. You're done with the power tools. So I like to keep your fingers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, it's difficult, but it's not as bad as a lot of people have it lost worse than we do. So
Yeah, I know.
I try to look on the bright side and
Definitely.
be glad we have what we got.
I agree. Well, our time's about up, Linda.
Well, that half hour went by fast.
Doesn't it go by fast?
It does. Yeah.
I mean, it's like we're sitting in our living room,
Yep.
and just talking, and that's what I like about it. And I think my audience, they kind of enjoy that. They know my shows are about the guests. There are times I can be on a show and I'm not going to say a lot because I want you to talk.
Yeah.
I want you to let everybody know about you. But I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. Again, I appreciate the time and your help in trying to help me clear out my things.
Well, we're going to put your information up on the bulletin board here at Cable Access.
Great.
I'm going to keep pushing with all my friends. And
And if anybody's interested, they can go to my Facebook page, Castaway's Costume Rentals. I do have some pictures on there. The vintage things are not on there, mostly Halloween things. And if you do me a favor, like my page and share it. And that will get the word around a lot more for me.
oh, absolutely. So please, everybody,
Yep.
go on Facebook, like Linda, look at the costumes, make an appointment, go up, and, even let Linda know you saw the show. So she knows everybody's learning about Castaway Costumes, and Linda's retiring. All right, Linda.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, everybody, and I thank all the wonderful customers that have been with me for the last 36 years. I have customers that have come in year after year after year, and now their children are coming to me, so made a lot of good friends along the line, and it's going to be sad to see it all go.
Oh, God. So, everyone, I want to thank you for watching the show, and we'll be back with you in a couple days again with another show. But in the meantime, go get your costume. Have
Look
a good
forward to
day.
seeing you.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Perfect.
Ta-da.
Perfect.